Okay, so now we're moving on to the second stage. I'm going to put in some of the colours of the flowers. I've spent some time mixing up some vermilion and some yellow and a bit of white to get this good orange we've got for the flower. It kind of looks a little bit like a potentilla. It's kind of not got as hot an orange as I want it, so I'm going to add a bit more of the vermilion as I'm going along. I can always knot this back, but I kind of want it to look quite hot. It's really improved by the use of the yellow in there, so it gives it that warmth. So it's a hard balance getting the white in there, and then getting the yellow so it doesn't look too weak. So I'm just going to pop that in. I'm going to do it quite blocky way using this heavier brush. I quite like using this to start with. I can always get a bit more detail in, but I like kind of the way that the blockiness works. I'm going to use a bit of white because I'm kind of try and come over the top of this green. So let's just knock that back a little bit, and perhaps we can come back over it once that's dry. There are flashes there of orange just in this flower here, so I'm just going to block that in. And then I'm going to use the pink that I've already mixed for the background. I'm going to use that in a blocky way as well, and just drop that into the bigger flower over on the left there. That was still wet enough to use, so I'm just going to pop that in. That's another thing I probably could have done in that other stage, but just blocking that in and having that as a kind of a background kind of pink. And we can come over this with some of the crimson, warm crimsons to work in the shadows. But at the moment, let's just get that pink tone on there. Again, you know, we are going to need to darken that a fair bit, but it's just giving us a rough background for the flower shape. And it also gets us to look at what the greens are going to look like against it. Okay, so that's that. And then we're going to work in a little bit of the lemon. So I haven't actually mixed this yet, but what I've noticed is there's just a lemon yellow in your kit, which almost seems a little bit paler. Let's just see. I'm going to mix it up with plenty of white on it. You can see that, and just block that in, because again we can come in with the darker tones once we've done that. But what we really need to do is get in these kind of petal shapes so we can soften them and use the greens against it, because it sort of has picked up a bit of the green, the reflections of the green you can see. So just bring that up, just try and retain this shape. There's quite a lot of white in there, but that doesn't matter. I've lightened this screen up a fair old bit, so you're losing a bit of the colour if you're just looking at this on the video, but obviously you've got it as a resource as well. So let's just pop that in. We can come back into that. I'm just going to make it a little bit warmer in the centre there by just picking up some straight lemon yellow, so it's quite light. There, as I say, there's greenish tones there. Let's pop in, let's clean off perhaps, and then bring in the greens. Now the green, I used the lighter green, which is called grass green, and I used lemon yellow and a bit of white. So I'm going to start bringing in these bright greens. Now the one that I was using to put in those petals just now was a 2, so that's quite a little brush, but it's also got a squarish feel to it. Let me just show you that brush again. This one here. So this is the 2. So if you're going to use, perhaps bring across some yellow and some grass green for perhaps a mid shade, and just use it against that. So if I'm squinting, it's really quite dark, that green there. You could almost bring in some of that straight grass green. Just see how that looks against the navy blue. Get that soft shape coming around. But it's just really, it feels really nice to put it in with a blockier brush just to start with. Again, a lighter, yellowier mid-tone there for this one. So really just squint, look at the tones of green that you're getting in, and just block them in. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm mixing yellow and white, and then just putting in some of these leaves that I kind of want to pop out against this navy blue. I mean, they're not exactly where they should be, but I'm just quite enjoying working with these. So you've got what I'll do is I'll come back over these with a green, so you've got that brightness. I don't know if I want to do too much more to this. Again, it needs to be quite light against that navy blue there. We can knock that back again, but you just do want to get that feeling of the light hitting the leaves. This bottom one here is over the top. There's two there, and this one's over the top, so let's just try and keep that bright and light over the top there so that you can see that the light's coming across there a little bit. Tidy that up later. It's quite nice having some thick paint on there as well, these harder edges. I think I might, let's have a look, just pop in the lighter green on this side, although in a way the light is hitting quite unevenly, that one. Depends how representational you want it to be, but it's sort of lighter at the ends basically, isn't it? And then kind of a mid green up here. But you're just trying to define the leaf shape a little bit. I'm leaving some of the background as well peeping through, so you've got that warmth of the burnt sienna. I'm going to just drop in a little bit of green on top of this yellow now that it's dried a bit. So it's sort of starting to pick up those greenish tones that are happening there. Okay, and I think I might just leave that there for the leaves so that I can come back into them a little bit. I mean, you can see here that I do need a sort of some strength of colour coming on top of this navy blue, and that's kind of not enough. It's sort of disappearing a bit. So let's just, even though we're making it a bit lighter, which it isn't, at least we can work over that again, and you're not losing the shape of the leaf, which is what we were doing there a little bit. That's better. It's kind of a bit more kind of recognisable as leaf shape, and there we go. Let's just leave that there, I think.